Welcome to the channel Movies 360 Kill Count, where we count all the kills and deaths in a movie. I'm Aruj, and today we are looking at movie Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, released in 2023, directed and written by Zack Snyder. Rebel Moon is the adventure sci-fi fantasy movie in which we see when a peaceful settlement on the edge of a distant moon finds itself threatened by the armies of a tyrannical ruling force. Korra, a mysterious stranger living amongst the villagers, becomes their best hope for survival. Tasked with finding trained fighters who will unite with her in making an impossible stand against the Mother World, Korra assembles a small band of warriors from different worlds who share a common need for redemption and revenge. As the shadow of an entire realm bears down on the unlikeliest of moons, a battle over the fate of a galaxy is waged, and in the process, a new army of heroes is formed. Now let's see the kills and deaths of movie Rebel Moon, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Admiral Atticus Noble and his armed troops meets with Sindri. Noble embraces Sindri and introduces himself to them. Sindri then invites Noble to their long house to drink and talk about the village. The noble gets his cane from one of his soldiers and strikes Sindri in his head multiple times. Sindri's wife tries to stop Noble, but before getting close, one of the soldiers attacks her. Gunnar gets shocked by what happened and realizes that he is the reason for Sindri's death. Later, that the soldiers call Sam and plot to take advantage of her, they forcefully carry her as Sam screams for help. The commander comes and tells them that he should be the first one before them. He attempts to assault her, but before he even starts, Korra steps in the scene and stops them. The soldiers underestimate her and try to assault her as well. Little did they know, Korra is an expert in combat. She takes them down one by one with the help of Aris, a soldier changing sides. They manage to take down all of them, leaving the commander holding Sam as hostage. JC-145, a robot, arrives at the scene and sees them. The commander orders the robot to kill the two, but JC-145 shoots at him instead and leaves. The villagers arrive at the scene as well. Korra then takes the opportunity and tells them that they should fight. While on the way, Korra reveals to Gunnar that she is an ex-officer of the Mother World. She also tells him about her past, mentioning that the soldiers led by the young general Belisarius killed her whole family. At the age of 9, she met Belisarius face to face and he adopted her, raising young Korra to be a soldier. After graduating from the Imperium Academy, I was in the army and everyone worked for the king, and the Belisarius had by then become a very special general, and I also fell in love with the boy. Then we went to a war, there he was killed, and then I went ahead in anger. I had come forward and with my bravery had achieved victory at that place by destroying the enemies one by one. And I was working with the same enemies who had killed my people, in which we were taught that we should not leave anyone alive. After a long journey, the two arrive at well where General Titus is located. When they enter a local bar, they observe men and other races coexisting. Inside the bar, a stranger with a weird face tries to hit on Gunnar and assaults him. Korra takes action and subdues the stranger, who runs away for his life. But shortly after, the stranger who harassed Gunnar returns for revenge with some backup. Unfortunately for them, Korra is well trained and easily defeats all of them. At the end of the fight, Korra is saved by a man named Snyder. In another planet, we see a warrior named Tarak who becomes prisoner by his debts. There he cleared all his debts by taming a flying creature and now becomes a free man. From there they leave, and then Tarak's master climbs on that bird and then he drops it and kills it there. And seeing this, Tarak is very happy. From there, they proceed to Douglas' planet, and Kai asks a woman named Nemesis to join them, and then Nemesis says that I am not sure about this. And then she goes ahead and meets a monster, and she says, I have been sent to take this girl. And then that the monster refuses, and then Nemesis takes out her sword and fights with that monster, and she very bravely kills her. Although Nemesis defeats the creature, she cannot be too happy with the result. Since the beast fight was in protest against the heavy mine activities on the planet that have led to the destruction of the natural ecosystem, Nemesis intends to fight the humans responsible for this destruction, and so she joins Korra's bands of warriors. Then they ride their ship and go straight to Pollock. After a long travel, they land in Pollock and spot General Titus drunk sleeping on the floor. Meanwhile, Noble interrogates a man who knows the whereabouts of the insurgents. He manages to get the information he wants and kills the man. Noble arrives at the King Levitica's location and kills all of his troops. King Levitica begs for forgiveness and mercy, but Atticus kills him mercilessly. Meanwhile, Korra arrives at Gondal to take a rest from the trip. While taking a rest from long flight, Korra notices Kai signaling someone on the walkie-talkie. Korra realizes that Kai is a traitor and has set them up in an ambush. And two of the Darrens jet a blast by enemy ship. Then all of them get shackled in a high-tech robot. It is then revealed that Kai is a bounty hunter. The Noble arrives at the scene with the soldiers and reveals their true identities one by one. Kai then orders Gunner to kill Korra by pulling the trigger of a gun in her spine. Gunner inserts the gun inside Korra's spine. Where he is about to do it, he turns around and shoots Kai in the neck with the gun. Then he frees Korra, and then Korra goes ahead and starts fighting the enemies, and there the Gunner frees all the warriors one by one, and they all start killing the soldiers. And Darien tells his people to board the plane, and the flight below escalates, and then Noble orders all the planes to be destroyed. Then all of Darien's smaller planes are blown up. Darien gets angry after seeing this, and he jumps to the ship and goes to destroy those ships. So Darien targets the pilot and attempts to kill him. He manages to kill the pilot, but the pilot shoots him as well. The firefight continues to intensify between the two groups. Korra then sees Atticus and charges towards him. The two get isolated by the explosions. They start to fight each other in close combat. Noble gets an advantage against Korra at first and beats her. However, Korra bounces back. She breaks his bones, stabs him with his own cane, and finishes him off by smashing the cane into his face. The tough and intense fight ends when Noble falls off and dies. Then we see afterwards, while Noble's corpse is retrieved by the Mother World, it appears that Noble is already a cyborg. He is transmitted to General Belisarius, who demands that Noble ends the insurgency against him and bring Korra to him alive so he can execute her himself.